A man is sleeping in Phoenix, Arizona right now. No alarm, no laptop open, no emails. And while he sleeps, 5 machines scattered across 3 different cities are quietly filling themselves with cash. Not stock trades, not crypto, not some app he built. Machines, boring, ugly, unglamorous machines that most people walk past every single day without a second thought. Here's the part that should bother you. You've used at least 3 of these businesses this month. You just never thought to own one. Let's start with the one hiding in plain sight in almost every neighborhood in America, the laundromat. In Dallas, Texas, there's a laundromat that looks like nothing special. Fluorescent lights, plastic chairs, a vending machine for detergent in the corner, but that laundromat reportedly generates over $400,000 a year, and the owner shows up maybe 4 hours a week. Why? Because renters don't own washers, college students don't own dryers, and every single load someone runs costs the same whether the owner is standing there or sipping coffee at home. The machines don't care who's watching. They just run and run and run. Here's a detail that surprises most people. The owner didn't start with that location. He started by buying a rundown laundromat that was losing money, the kind most investors would walk straight past. He fixed the machines nobody else wanted to touch, added card payment readers so people didn't need exact change, and within 18 months, revenue nearly tripled. He never touched the marketing budget. He didn't need to. Foot traffic in a laundromat is guaranteed the moment someone's washer breaks at home. Now here's where it gets interesting, because laundromats are just the entry point. The real obsession in this world of boring businesses is the vending machine. In Columbus, Ohio, one operator started with a single machine parked outside a mechanic shop. Estimated profit in year 1? A few $1,000s. Nothing exciting. But he didn't stop at 1. He kept placing machines, gyms, break rooms, apartment lobbies, until he had over 60 of them scattered across the city. Each one individually is almost irrelevant, a rounding error. But 60 of them, restocked once a week, reportedly pulled in 6 figures a year, with most of the actual work outsourced to a part-time restocker making $20 an hour. This is the pattern nobody tells you about. It's never about finding one genius idea. It's about finding one boring idea and refusing to stop at one unit. Most people quit after machine number 1 because the profit looks small. The ones who get rich are the ones who treat machine number 1 as a test, not a destination. Which brings us to the machine hiding inside almost every gas station, bar, and casino in the country, the ATM. Most people assume ATMs belong to banks. They don't. A huge percentage are independently owned, placed by regular people who cut a deal with a business owner for a corner of the counter. Every withdrawal triggers a surcharge fee, often $3 to $5, and depending on the contract, that fee is split or fully kept by the machine's owner. One operator running a modest route of 15 machines across bars in Charlotte, North Carolina, reportedly nets close to $70,000 a year in fees alone. No inventory, no spoilage, no employees standing behind a counter, just cash moving through a metal box, generating profit on autopilot. What makes this business almost invisible is the psychology behind it. Nobody stops to think about who owns the machine when they're desperate for cash at 1 a.m. outside a bar in Charlotte. They just tap the screen, take the fee, and walk away. That moment of urgency is the entire business model. The owner doesn't need to convince anyone of anything. The need already exists. He just has to be standing in the room when it happens. But here's the twist most people miss. All 3 of these businesses, laundromats, vending, ATMs, they're small, they're scrappy. They're the entry-level version of a much bigger, much quieter game. And that game is self-storage. Self-storage doesn't get talked about because it's not sexy. There's no app, no brand, no influencer bragging about their storage facility on a yacht. But investors like Warren Buffett have long pointed to boring, cash-flowing real estate as some of the most underrated wealth-building tools that exist. And self-storage sits right in that category. A facility with 200 units, each renting for roughly $120 a month, generates an estimated $280,000 a year in gross revenue. No renovations needed, no plumbing, no kitchens, just a gate code, a fence, and people paying monthly to store things they forgot they even owned. And the business runs almost entirely on autopilot because of one brutal, beautiful psychological trick: inertia. Once someone puts their stuff in storage, they almost never take it out. Life gets busy. The unit becomes background noise on their bank statement. Owners count on that hesitation, and it's exactly why storage facilities have some of the highest profit margins in real estate, often north of 50%. Think about that for a second. A facility owner in a mid-sized American city can raise rent by $5 a month on 200 units, and almost nobody cancels. Why would they? Moving your belongings out is more effort than just paying the extra $5. That's not a marketing strategy, that's human behavior, and it's been quietly funding fortunes for decades. Now for the last business, the one that combines everything you just learned: recurring demand, low labor, and location-based automation, the automated car wash. Picture an express tunnel wash just off a busy road in Phoenix. No attendants scrubbing by hand. A car pulls in, a machine does the work in 90 seconds, and the driver pays through a subscription app before they even reach the exit. That subscription model is the real unlock. Instead of relying on one-time customers, owners lock in monthly recurring revenue. Some operators reportedly seeing thousands of subscribers paying $20 to $40 a month, whether they use the wash once or 20 times that month. One well-run express location can generate over $1 million a year with a skeleton crew and a manager checking in a few times a week. The genius of the subscription model is that it flips the entire incentive. In a normal car wash, the owner wants you to come back often. In a subscription car wash, the owner almost prefers you don't. Every wash you skip is pure profit sitting in the owner's account. No water used, no labor spent, no wear on the machines. It's one of the rare businesses where customer laziness directly increases the bottom line. So here's the uncomfortable truth hiding underneath all 5 of these businesses. None of them are innovative. None of them will get written about in a tech magazine. Nobody is pitching a laundromat on a startup stage next to the next big software idea. But while everyone else chases the next flashy trend, a small group of quiet operators keep buying up the boring stuff. The stuff people use without thinking, the stuff nobody brags about at a dinner party, and they let repetition and recurring demand do the heavy lifting. There's a reason billionaires like Buffett built empires on unglamorous cash flow instead of chasing hype. Boring businesses don't need to be reinvented every year. They don't go out of style. People will always need clean clothes, cash in their pocket, a place to store their extra furniture, and a clean car. That kind of certainty is worth more than excitement. The businesses that make the most money while you sleep were never the exciting ones. They were the ones so boring, so overlooked, that almost nobody bothered to compete for them. And that's usually where the real money has been hiding the entire time. Not in the next big idea, but in the machines, the gates, and the tunnels that everyone walks past without a second glance. If this opened your eyes to a side of business nobody talks about, hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell me in the comments which one of these 5 you'd start with first. It might be the most boring decision that ever made you rich.